hell yeah is this? They ain't got no bully rules. Don't be picking my baby up. Y'all know he ain't but this big. Why it take two of y'all to pick him up and throw him under the piano? You know Prince ain't nothing but a flick.
Hello, black hole. See this brother winning, man. Hey, look, what is it, win, baby? What is it, win, baby? What is it, win, baby?
Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's lookies would be our Priscilla personality frames. I'm going to be adding some more in there. Okay, these aren't readers, these are just plain frames. Okay, but I like to zhuzh up my look sometimes and switch it around, you know, because sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't, and sometimes a personality frame will do that for you. So go on over there to uptopbeauty.com and check out what we have. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, The Poet was the most successful album I ever had, but typically a lot around it turned out bad. The Poet brought me back, but I could have done without Otis Smith. Our contractual dispute put me a little behind track, but I finally broke free of Smith and Beverly Glenn and got around to putting out The Poet 2 in 1984. This time, through Motown, I brought Patti LaBelle on for that. I was on the road performing in Philadelphia, and Patti came to sing with me. We demolished the house. After that, I said we should collaborate and asked her to do a guest shot on my album. We ended up duetting on 3 tracks, including Love Has Finally Come at Last. I knew if we put the song out, it would be a smash record. And it was. After Sam died, Ronnie Wood became my closest friend. I would and could talk to Woody if there was a problem. We first met when the Faces called me to support them on their last tour. I first heard of Rod Stewart in 1966. I love that white boy. In the 80s, he was killing it. Now, it's funny because I've never heard of the group The Faces, never. But I know who Rod Stewart is. Some guys have all the luck. Some guys have all the pain. Some guys get all the breaks. Some guys do nothing but complain. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Woody got me on the phone, handed it to Rod, and he grilled me. Wanted to know what sort of cigarettes Sam Cooke smoked. Told him L&M's. What did he drink? Told him martini cocktails or beer feeder gin. Damn, that sounds like rock gut. I don't even know what that is, but that's something my mama used to say all the time. Oh, you drinking that rock gut, huh? At the start, I could never tell the difference between Woody and Rod. They both just looked alike to me. Both had their hair in a little shag. On top of the personal beefs within the band, there was a whole army of journalists who had attached themselves to the circus. Media conferences became the norm. The band's antics meant that the tour manager had a headache getting them into the hotels as they had been banned because they niggas. The band's antics meant that the tour manager had a headache getting them into hotels as they'd been banned by the Holiday Inn chain. Some nights, he resorted to booking rooms as Fleetwood Mac. How you gonna put that beef on Fleetwood Mac? Throughout the tour, there were rumors that Rod would be quitting. Then Ronnie confided in me that it was going to be the last Faces tour. He said Rod is leaving. He ain't taking me with him. I asked what was going to happen with the rest of the guys, and he said, I don't know, man, but this is it. Next thing I heard, Ronnie Wood was going to join the Rolling Stones. Keith Richards took Woody under his arm. Keith had been with a lot of guitar players, but to play together, you almost have to live together. Keith could get that out of Woody, and Woody was willing to give him that. They built a strong, powerful relationship that kept Woody in the group. Keith Richards was a true warrior and a very soulful guy. He was frank. If Keith didn't like someone, they would know it right away, and I respect it. I truly respect it. Now, you know, they say that ultimately Mick Jagger and Keith Richards didn't care for each other. I believe that they were both very powerful signs. One of them has got to be a Leo. And I believe that it's two leaders. It could be, let's check, guys. Danger. We have dangers. 2 fire signs. Treachery is among us. You got Keith Richards, who is a Sagittarius. You know that nigga is not about to acquiesce to no Leo. He's not about to do that. Sagittarians, if there ain't nothing else, they kill us. And then you got, who's that? Mickey Jagger, who is a strong Leo. Okay? You know, them Leos be like, you know, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Them Sagittarians will get in your face and be like, you might not be a killer, but nigga, I am. Taking it back to Bobby Womack. When Bobby Womack says that he was a very frank person, that's because Sagittarians don't give a fuck about your feelings. They don't care. They're going to say whatever it is that is in their heart. All right? They don't care. And that's what I respect about anybody. Even though Sagittarians are very sensitive. Notice about fire signs. They are very strong on the outside, but on the inside, baby, you push that right button, you will hurt their feelings. One time, Keith was mad at me. Didn't speak to me for a while. I think he thought that anything that fucked with Woody or got him in trouble was down to me, because we were close. Keith's attitude was, why is Womack always there? He's part of the problem. The Stones had recorded It's All Over Now, but I wasn't around for that and didn't run into the band properly until a decade later when I hooked up to do a couple of tours with them in the mid-1970s. Their cover had been my greatest crossover record. The Stones had made my name in 1964. I was somebody. I also thought they believed I was some kind of unsung hero to them. They had tried to be everyone else in those early years. One day James Brown, the next Jackie Wilson, anyone who came into the city, they would try out. So maybe they had me on the tours because they knew I had heart and never lost it. I wasn't the only artist working those 1970s tours. Prince was out there one time. This was way before Purple Rain. He was just getting known and working up the crowd for the Stones. The guy was having an orgasm with his guitar. We done heard this story several different ways. Let's continue. Word got back that the audience might not have been appreciating Prince's act as much as he thought. 2 roadies were instructed to throw him off the stage, and that's what they did. Walked on in the middle of his performance, grabbed him, and literally threw him under a piano. Prince went sailing off and out into the wings. I mean, goddamn, he ain't but so big. Why you need 2 of them? Don't be bullying Prince. What the hell year is this? They ain't got no bully rules. Don't be picking my baby up. Y'all know he ain't but this big. Why it take 2 of y'all to pick him up and throw him under the piano? You know Prince ain't nothing but a flick. At least I knew the punishment the Stones had in store for not coming up to scratch. But sometimes I thought the band just brought me out for amusement, to hear my jokes. There would be, because you was a court jester. There would be times when I was out with them, but not performing. Woody called up and said, you come out. How long can you stay with us? I told him, Woody, I ain't got no job. I ain't in no kind of good shape. I'm a legend. Not a rich legend. Broke legend. He promised me a suite. You got a room. We'll get some money. We'll rub some nickels together. Now, kudos to the Stones for handling this situation like this. I respect you. Because you know the MTV was full of bullshit back in the day. All right? So I respect you, the Stones. Now, we already know that the Stones like the black vagina. We already know that. Okay? Now, you know, sometimes them white men, they like the black vagina, but they intimidated by the black pickle. That's all I'm saying. In this situation, I have mad respect for the Stones. You know, but then the Stones are a different breed. One time I was hanging out with the Stones, and I had my own album out. I was all proud, but it wasn't getting airplay. The band asked, "Do you think you are going to cross over on this, Bobby?" "Yeah," I said. "It had better cross over, or I'll end up falling over." A phone call came in to the Stones camp, and for some reason, I picked it up. It was the boss of MTV, and he was trying to get the Rolling Stones for an interview. He said, "Who's this?" I told him, "Oh, Bobby, what a brilliant album you got." "Yeah, it's so brilliant. Why you ain't playing it?" "Because you're black and it's MTV, the Bobby. That's why. They don't play the black music." "What? Girl, bang." "Yeah, it's so brilliant. Why ain't you playing it?" The guy went into a spiel and told me to get a copy over. I told him no. I ain't getting it over there. I already sent over 10,000 copies, nigga. So he reeled me in with a deal. If I hooked MTV up with one of the Stones for an interview, then I get some heavy rotation on his station. Child, let me take a drink on that. Where's my water? You don't need these bastards no more. You can help each other down here on the YouTube. "Hey girl, as you say so, I love you, girl." I told Keith and Woody they both agreed to do the interview, but would only talk up my album when they got there. And that's why I love me some Keith Richards. I'm sorry, I don't really know who Woody is, but that's why I love Keith Richards. They made the company pick us up in separate limos, police on all sides, and also pick up the tab. I thought, man, with all these limos and stuff, they'll never play my record now. This was more than it cost to make the album. In the studio, the interview was wild. They said things like, "The man here, me, has cut an album you say doesn't fit your format." What fits your format, man? When you get to a certain point of power, you can say anything you want, but you must maintain that integrity. Okay, so pause, right? Let me say this. Tasha K, she's in a position where she can say what she want to say, right? But there are casualties, right? Lovely T, she says what she wants to say. She a Leo. But Lovely T can say what she wants to say, but she has always maintained integrity. That's the difference that I would say between Tasha K and Lovely T. You know, I mean, I love you, Tasha, but MTV got the record on and everything. But I walked away from that thinking it was not about my music. It was about the color of my skin. I played on the Stones album Dirty Work, recorded it in Paris and New York in 1985, did Harlem Shuffle. The group thought I might be a good inspiration, thought it would be cool. I worked mostly with Keith and Ronnie. They would lay down the tracks and I would do the background. Those guys would call me the Womack sisters because I could sing all the high parts like a couple of chicks. Wow. And guess who's out now trying to do their thing? The Womack sisters. After about 18 years of marriage, Regina wanted to try and find herself. Come the start of the 1990s, she went to live in New York and took our daughter, Gina Ray, with her.
Oh,